timeout set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed. And that's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Falcons.
Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big stroke like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 14-7.
14, Saints 7. Jason Sanders set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Well, here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Brady. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted.
Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner, and with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
The best starting field position you could possibly have. 1st and goal from the 1. They'll try to run this one in. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 21-7.
21, Saints 7. Jason Sanders set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
At their own 22-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best of the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Brady gives this one off to Jones. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. In motion, the tight end.
Hey, goal 66.
Now on 2nd and 13. Brady. And Brady going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
They'll begin by running the option. He'll pitch it back. A second pin has fallen. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, 1st down Falcons. A pretty wild first quarter, 21-7, our score. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak that's now stretched over multiple months, not weeks, months.
I think the challenge they put upon themselves is we want to be the guys to end that streak. And what's working in their favor? The winning streak on the other side. Sometimes that carries a burden with it because they feel like they have to play perfectly as well. Let's just go out there and get them is the idea.
And this is going to be incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. When those extra defenders on the field, dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
So they're going for it, and here's Allen. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Again, they'll throw with Allen. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort. But instead, he sets his guys up in excellent shape with a 1st and goal.
This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Falcons take a 3-touchdown lead. Sanders now to add the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7.
Makes the score Falcons 28, Saints 7. Jason Sanders set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if I kept having a rough patch, he said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. From the 27, Brady. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
56, 56.
So after the INT, it's Allen. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. These two teams, they met in Atlanta earlier in the year with the Falcons winning that game. So they'll be looking for the win here in New Orleans to complete the season sweep. And now the red flag out on the field. We'll have a challenge forthcoming. So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have 1 challenge remaining. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Allen. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And able to find Gesicki as tight end. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Frankly, I don't know that this defense knows what to do anymore. Just look at their body language out there. The passing game has absolutely been relentless throughout.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again.
No gain on the play. Leads to 2nd and goal.
On On second and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's third and goal. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. A big play forthcoming. Here's third and goal. And this time he is in. A great effort there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Falcons are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And a rout is on here in this first half.
Saints 7. Jason Sanders set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch.
And now here is another interception. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right You're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
And they'll run the option to start the drive. He'll pitch it. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A 22-yard scamper. And the Falcons have taken a 5-touchdown lead. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And a rout is on here in this first half.
Saints 7. Jason Sanders set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
And some room to run now. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. So that, Charles, his second touchdown of the ballgame. He had the more standard receiving touchdown earlier. This time he finds the end zone in the run game.
Yeah, it's almost as if he said, well, that's how I normally do it. That's almost boring. Give me another opportunity. This time I'll use my legs only and get into the end zone.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Takes it at the 7. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Now Allen. He's going to try and go deep again. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Falcons. Jalen Waddle. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Falcons just continue to roll. Sanders on for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half.
Makes the score Falcons 49, Saints 14. Jason Sanders set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And not a good return here at all, as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
At their own 12-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, put the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
On second down, it's Jones. And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's caught here by Adams. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Brady to throw for it on 4th down. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. A surprising move to go for it predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the... And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Falcons will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So it takes them just 3 plays here to find the end zone. And you remember, of course, this was all set up by their defense.
Yeah, they got the stop on 4th down, so I imagine the offense said to their defense, thank you very much for this great starting field position. And like you said, 3 plays later, they're in the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the route is on here in this first half.
Saints 14. Jason Sanders set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. On 1st down, Brady. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given them a lot to think about, a lot of different looks.
And my goodness, another interception. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents
offense have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
On first down, Allen. And going deep for Hill. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Tyreek Hill. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Falcons extend their lead yet again.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the rout is on here in this first half.
Saints 14. Jason Sanders set to kick
Now
off.
after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10. Throwing now is Brady. And this is caught by Evans. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Brady now on first down. Pass thrown to Adams. He's got it on the crossing route. He's going to be brought down there in the field of play. And the clock will run, no timeouts. They will not have the chance to bring out the field goal unit. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles. And, I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the third quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Allen going to throw. He's going to go up top again. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Falcons.
So there's the big arm of Josh Allen on display. He can throw it as deep as anybody, and that was an absolute laser.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you can just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears weren't realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And the final readout on next-gen stats, remarkable. That ball traveling close to 80 yards in the air. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Brady going to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Adams. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down.
32-yard line.
Here's Brady to throw.
Here's back-to-back catches for Davante Adams.
So the completion good for just 3. And it's 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Brady to throw again. He's got the hook up with Diggs.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. They fake the handoff. Now Brady.
Another target for Stephon Diggs, and he brings it in.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with second and a couple.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll run off tackle with Jones. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Aaron Jones with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints are able to at least get one score back. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Still comfortably on top, third quarter as they start things here with a 1st and 10. Here's Allen to throw it. He's going to air one out. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Falcons. Jalen Waddle, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Falcons are pouring it on. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
Fields the squib kick right around the 30.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
From the 41, Brady. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the Saints are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Five men in the secondary now for the Falcons on third down. Now Brady. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And, boy, possession here turns over with a football already being in the red zone.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Catch made right side by Wilson. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. A lot of effort there for just a 3-yard gain, and now 2nd down.
On the ready.
First throw now for the backup Tua Tagovailoa. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds.
Good work on the scamper by Tagovailoa. It's a 1st down.
Well, that's a nice job right there. He's looking downfield, but with no one open, he takes off and tries to run for it. He gets to the sidelines and gets out of bounds with a 1st down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Falcons get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they've built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Saints 21. Jason Sanders set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone now to go to him.
18-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
In every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans, rolling along here in the third quarter, 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Brady. Going deep here for Bryant. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get, taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
No, 66.
Now Brady. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I like what they did there because many of the deep throws we see in the course of a game come to the outside, the perimeter of the field. In this case, they used the slot receiver to run deep downfield and tried to connect that way. Unsuccessful in that attempt, but I like what they were doing.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Brady going to go on 4th down. And this one is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
56.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Hands it off out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
He's tackled at the 7-yard line. First and goal, Atlanta.
Right back to him on first down. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
That's good power football on first and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Second and goal from inside the 5. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Falcons will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Sanders now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Next to score, Falcons 91, Saints 21. Jason Sanders set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And they will be backed up deep trouble here as they're going to start this drive at the 6.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
Well, that'll help get you out of danger. So much for playing it conservatively back towards your own goal line.
That aggressive mentality, sometimes you can use it, and they did there against a defense who probably thought to themselves, there's no way they take a shot here this deep in their own territory.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Ball 50.
Brady. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off Byron Jones. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
A gain of 14. And the Falcons first down.
give him another shot here on the ground. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown run.
And the Falcons add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
And, partner, are you kidding me? With this game that he's having, we are in uncharted waters like we've never seen before.
Just think, if he keeps every football from all the touchdowns scored today, does he need to build a new trophy room at home?
Yeah. A couple trophy rooms. Maybe a whole home for a trophy room.
What a phenomenal performance, and I'll guarantee you he's going to reward the rest of the offensive unit after this as well for helping him get to this number.
He better. This is just unreal. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise.
And now here is another interception.
Picked up by Javon Holland.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. How about this starting field position? 1st and goal from 2 yards out. They'll try to run this one in, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great play there. He flat out can't be stopped.
And the Falcons are closing in on win number 10 as they extend this 4th quarter lead.
Sanders on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Oh, a little cruel here. They're going to go for the onside kick up big. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And here's Jones again on 2nd down.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That's a loss of 8 yards there to bring up 3rd.
You want to talk about the proverbial deer in the headlights? That's exactly what he was when he got the ball. Went to hit a lane and get upfield, and all he saw, extra defenders bearing down on him. Perfect time to dial up the blitz. An excellent call.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Now Brady got to have this one. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Falcons will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Always got some breathing room. Stiff-armed him. 164 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A great effort there. Finding the end zone yet again. And the Falcons add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Jason Sanders set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, their defense has really struggled. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about his desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. To throw is Brady. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
The Saints on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Shotgun now for Brady. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Hey, 66.
They'll go for it. It's Brady. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position.
They'll start with the option.
He gives it up. Oh, he bowls over it. He's like a freight train. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5.
181 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Jason Sanders set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but this...
And now here is another interception.
Isaiah Simmons picking it off. Such a costly interception, nearly a pick 6, but now they're so close they are knocking on the door for a touchdown.
And I never want to get on any team for being aggressive because that's part of what their makeup is, and oftentimes it's successful. But in this case, you've got to be selective about it and make sure you take care of the football. That interception almost cost them 6 points. Now their defense has to run.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, they mentioned this week, Charles, they had a couple kinks on offense that they wanted to fix. I would say they're pretty well fixed.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, just about everything they've run has been successful in this one. And if I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm done with this, right? I have no answers for anything. In fact, I'd probably send a note to the clock operator. Let it run.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Jason Sanders set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit.
And my goodness, another interception. It's picked by the linebacker, T.J. Watt. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense. But they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard. Now they try the right side here. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Following the penalty, they'll go back to the run game. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Allen going to go on 4th down. Eluding the pressure right. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Saints will have the football back. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear a peep or protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete.
And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise there in the dime.
Let's go on. Go, 66. Alert.
Working from the gun, it's Brady. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Falcons are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago. And you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for Atlanta, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they've fallen out of things now as they sink to 3-8. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers.
It's another one. We got another one.